Wright Implement is your one-stop source for everything John Deere. Save like never before on everything from commercial zero-turn mowers to lawn tractors to compact utility tractors and more. Right now at Wright Implement, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new John Deere 4044M compact utility tractor, and that price includes a loader. Save today at Wright Implement with 9 locations in Kentucky and Indiana to serve you, and online at wrightimp.com.
Emptiness. That's what this is right now. And I'm not just talking about the auditorium. Here at Breck Live, we have space for a commercial. Your very own commercial. Kobe. This could have been you, but instead, it's just me, all alone. And I just want to go home.
Here at Breck Live, we have space for commercials. This ad could have been yours.
But instead, you can watch us eat for the remaining time of this commercial.
As you mentioned, 10 of their 15 on the roster are rookies. They've never won the region. They've also not won a district title. However, this is also their worst start since 2010. They started that season 5-12 and finished 11-17. By the way this season has started, I know that Coach David Marion of North Bullitt would love to have at least something to take from this season. And we know from just past broadcasts we have been able to call here that it's never easy to take a win at Tiger Arena, especially this team that we've seen being 15-3 like they are, as you had mentioned, the best start in modern history. It's definitely been just a sight to see for the Lady Tigers.
It's been a terrific start. Of course, 15-3, absolutely impressive, best that we've seen in a long time. 9-2 in the region, fewest losses in the region, tied for the most wins in the region, second in points per game defense in the region, fourth for scoring in the region. You name it, the Lady Tigers are at the top of the list right now, and it's been an extremely fun first half of the year to watch.
And just looking at how the region and district has stacked up for the Lady Tigers, Meade County is the only home loss this season, and it was also the first home loss versus a district opponent since 2017. And we were able to call that one, and I know that it was more than hard fought for the Lady Tigers, and it was hard to stomach and watch because it was Meade County and it is such a big rival. But it's definitely a win or a loss that you can learn from, and it was such a small margin, even small, or it was the Meade County game was an even larger margin than the Apollo game that we played, as Meade County beat us by 5 and Apollo only by 4.
Of course, also going to Apollo and putting up 68 points. Nothing to shy away from, of course, as well. A game that would win a little better for the Lady Tigers was North Bullitt last season, where the Lady Tigers came out victors 58-51. Sydney, Isabel, and Aaliyah combined for 44 in that one, while Thorpe and Cambria, who are the only current members on that North Bullitt side on this current team, they combined for 10. And, of course, Cambria, as we know, probably out for this game. We don't see her warming up. It'll be tough to see how they fare without their leading scorer on the year.
If you look across the board for Breckinridge County, as far as their stats from points per game, opponents' points per game, field goal percentage, they don't fall below 6th in any of those categories. And, of course, they average 55.87 points and are allowing under 50 points a game. Shooting around 37.8%. Could be doing better from the 3. In fact, North Bullitt have around a 4% advantage coming into this one from the 3-point line. But we do know that this Lady Tigers team definitely has some knockdown shooters that are weapons. We've seen in games before against Fern Creek and Cloverport even come off the bench, like Hannah Radaszewski put up numbers. And, you know, it's just getting in rhythm for the Lady Tigers is the main thing for this one.
I agree 100%. One player that we really want to see find her rhythm, senior Natalie Tabor. She has yet to really click in with Sydney and Aaliyah and Cassidy, who have all absolutely been amazing in the absence of Isabel, who now appears to not be starting. We didn't think she would even be playing, but certainly looks to be on the bench today, as we are just about to get into the starting lineups.
Well, she is dressed out, but I do believe it will be Skylar Tucker taking her place for this one again. So the Tucker twins will be featured in the starting lineup with Natalie Tabor, Aaliyah Mucker, and Cassidy McDaniel.
So as you heard there, typical from the Lady Tigers, starting, of course, the 5 that we've seen in the absence of Isabel. As for North Bullitt, Fox, Kurtzinger, James, Clutie, and Dawson getting the start.
It is a full sail rookie lineup for North Bullitt, all of them in their first season.
That is true, a 7th grader in there.
Madeline Kurtzinger, their center, it's a 7th grader, as well as Emily James, an 8th grader. Actually, Alyssa Fox, also an 8th grader. So 3 8th or 7th graders in the starting lineup.
3 middle schoolers and 2 freshmen make up their starting 5. And quickly there's a missed layup. That one coming from James, but rebounded back out and kicked out to Clutie for 3. No good.
Another offensive rebound by North Bullitt. It will be a jump ball, though. Possession arrow towards the Lady Tigers, so Lady Tigers will come away with this one.
Dawson there with the rebound for the Lady Eagles, and Cassidy here to take things underway as the point, who has gotten a lot of experience as a point guard in these last few weeks. Here's Natalie at the top of the key now, finds Sydney, great pass in, and she's going to put it up and in. Sydney in her last 7 with 10 points or more every game, and so far off to the start, she needs to keep that streak running.
Definitely couldn't have come any more easy there to open the game for the Lady Tigers.
James has it on the left side here, working. Maybe a double dribble there, but knocked away. Fox gives it all the way up to the top of the key here. Kicks it out of the corner to Dawson. Dawson looks, gives it back up to the top of the key. This one to James. James gives it left, catches it back in the paint, puts it up, and somehow gets that one over Aaliyah. Very nice finish there from Emily Janes.
Here comes McDaniel up the court.
Cassidy gives it to Aaliyah here, looks for the back cut, and back up to Sydney.
That one's Skylar up at the top, finds Natalie. And here's Cassidy.
Cassidy at the top of the key, she looks. And gets him back to Natalie on the right side. She tries a three. This one comes up a little short and hits off the backboard. And it's going to come back with North Bullitt on the sideline. Here's Dawson to Kurtzinger, who travels. Leading rebounder on the team, second in scoring, and she is a rookie 7th grader. That is very uncommon.
On the season, she does have 7.9 points per game and 7.1 rebounds. Definitely a fantastic season for the 7th grader.
Had 14 in the last game, a season high. That one coming against Eastern High School in a 34-70 loss. Here's Aaliyah to Natalie down the left. Takes it to her right, gives it up to Aaliyah. Kicks it out to Cassidy, who's been on fire these last few games. Back to Natalie. And kick back out to Aaliyah. That one's short.
Off the front rim, rebounded by Allie Cludy.
Cludy here up the middle. Gives it to James. James with the only points so far for North Bullitt. But does
Kurtzinger.
Kurtzinger.
Just long.
And Sydney's going to watch that one go out of bounds. And the Lady Tigers will gain possession here. And so far, it's been 2-2 game in just about 2.5 minutes here. As Cassidy once again takes it up the court. We've seen the Lady Tigers get some good ball movement in, but so far not a lot of open chances created. But here's Natalie with a chance. She takes it to the left and just rims out there.
It's like a lid on the rim there. Just rolls out.
Battle here and a jump ball called, as I believe it was Sydney who was able to come away and fight for that one. But
a tie-up with the number 14s there. That was James and Tucker, Sydney Tucker on the tie-up.
And Cludy's going to get things going underway with the inbound. Gives it to James in the middle. We're seeing the Lady Tigers.
Dawson up to Kurtzinger. Kurtzinger can't keep it, fumbles it. And here comes Sydney.
Sydney down the right side, takes it up.
Takes it for herself with a Euro, but just can't get it up there. And here's Kurtzinger on the break.
Kurtzinger
just loses control.
And the Lady Tigers regain possession here. And a quick 30-second timeout called. Lady Tigers just looking to slow things down. Not a great start to this game. A little ugly so far.
Definitely a physical battle out there on the court.
Couple inside chances. Just not going either team's way right now. And the Lady Tigers will look to turn that around as we continue on.
I think 2-2 in 3 minutes might be the slowest start we've seen on the season for the Lady Tigers.
Certainly had a couple of chances. Quite a bit of weave action we were seeing. At about the free throw line, Aaliyah with a mid-range chance, unable to knock it down, but same lineup comes out for both teams.
Natalie just had that layup roll right over and out of the basket on her layup.
And once again, Cassidy will take it up the court. She is guarded by Cludy here. Cassidy's able to find Natalie, the lone senior. Finds Sydney with that same back cut we saw at the start of the game, and that one's swatted away. And it'll go back to the Lady Tigers.
Dawson will come out. Checking in will be number 2, the freshman Emily Thorpe. She had a season high of 12 against Henry County this season.
Interestingly, a freshman who was the only 8th grader in the team last year. So far, the player with the most experience for them is a freshman. And there's Natalie, who gets the Lady Tigers back on track and back up 4-2 here.
Sydney and Natalie, the only two scorers now for the Lady Tigers, stolen by Aaliyah.
And Thorpe unable to make that pass through, and Aaliyah takes it, and she's going to get fouled there. That one going against James, I believe. And it is, as we see Natalie take it out underneath the basket. Able to find Aaliyah. Takes it left. Good fake out. Cassidy tries a three, and that one just off, but Sydney with the rebound. She tries to take it up, and she's going to draw the foul against Kurtzinger.
Sydney will take the first trip to the free throw line tonight for the Lady Tigers and of the game.
Sydney already 2 points in the night. First it up and no good. Sydney on the year 53.1%, 26 for 49 on the year. Her second is up and she knocks this one down.
Now a 5-2 ball game coming up on halfway through this first quarter.
Thorpe nearly turns it over, but Sydney swats that one out of bounds. Sydney, a lot of physicality showing on this end. And here's Clutie to get it into Thorpe. Thorpe, another dangerous pass. Eventually given up here, though. This one to James and turned over. And Sydney just unable to keep that one in. She's shown a lot of hustle so far, but this one's going to go to North Bullitt on the inbound pass, I believe on the baseline, yes.
I don't know that.
And actually, referee changes his mind, but it does go. Another turnover regardless, as Skylar able to come away with that one and gives it up to Natalie. She finds Cassidy, a three on the way in the corner, and it's short again. Rebound out here, though. Come away is Thorpe, who slows things down. Takes it with her left, gives it up here to James. James getting a lot of touches in this game so far early. Fox here. Gives it up to Thorpe, maybe a walk. Guarded by Skylar. And turned over. Sydney again coming away with the ball. She's got 3-on-1. Gives it up. Great find to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah puts in the 2 points.
Great ball movement.
A great read there from Sydney, following another great defensive possession, and that'll be a full timeout called by North Bullitt as the Lady Tigers come into this break up 7-2, and we're seeing the Lady Tigers finally find more of their rhythm in that fast tempo game.
And Coach David Marion of North Bullitt, this is his 6th season, holds a 116-62 record coming into this one.
Of course, those 62 losses, they really, about half of them coming in just the last 2 seasons. Just to show just how usually strong this program is, usually a 25 to 30 win season team every year. This year, more losses than any of their last 5, excluding last season, of course.
Of course, the 18-19 season marked that beginning of, I guess, the rebuild period, but the 2 seasons prior, from 2016 to 2018, they were able to put up 50 wins without having double-digit losses on the season. So,
of course, you got to look at those defensive numbers, giving up only about 43 points a game in that entire span of 50 games, and that will win you some ball games, especially when you're putting up about 55 to 60.
And if you look at the numbers they were allowing when they didn't lose more than 10 games or lost less than 10 games, they allowed about the same amount of points that they average now. And I think it definitely has kind of shown to hurt them this season.
We do get things underway, though. And here's Clutie with the ball on this right side. Sydney gonna be, 10-second call actually, and terrific press from the Lady Tigers. I was worried maybe a push there called against Sydney, but able to take the turnover anyways as the Lady Tigers come back with possession, and it's Cassidy at the top of the key again. She gives it up to Aaliyah, handoff, a third three on the way from Cassidy. This one just rolls out. Aaliyah, though, with the rebound up, no good, rebounded by Skylar. She's fighting for it, gets it out to Sydney. She tries a three. This one's up, and it's long. Tapped around and eventually tapped into the hands of Kurtzinger as she gives it up the court to James. up the left side. She's triple teamed here, nearly gonna fall on the ground, and a jump ball as second one to it again. It is Sydney. And the Lady Tigers regain possession here. We're seeing Sydney get just about on top of every single loose ball that we're seeing. And here's Natalie on the right wing to Aaliyah at the top to Cassidy. She takes it mid-range at the free throw lines, up and in, and Cassidy knocks down the mid-range jumper there. Cassidy has been absolutely on fire, 26 earlier on in the year. Those coming, I believe, against Muhlenberg. Here's Fox. She looks out to Clutie for three. It's long and eventually makes its way out. Last touch by Kurtzinger there.
Just can't be reeled in there from Kurtzinger.
Interesting thing to note, North Bullitt, 15 players on this roster, all playing at least 11 games, so you know this team can run deep with 10 rookies. They're going to be a dangerous team in coming years. Great find from Aaliyah to Cassidy.
What a find from Aaliyah to Cassidy there. Backdoor cut from Cassidy.
And that is just how it was written up. Here, though, now, it's James who gets it up. Kurtzinger takes it all the way back up and finds James again over to the left side. And back up at the top is Clutie. Takes it right down to the corner to Dawson, inside to Kurtzinger, who just roots out Aaliyah, and that's an offensive foul. And I believe the second on Kurtzinger.
Kurtzinger, I think, put just too much of an elbow into Aaliyah there, trying to create space underneath that basket. Probably could have just went up with it.
Definitely had the opportunity to, but now we see Reagan Brown, another middle schooler, come into this game for the Lady Eagles. And here's Cassidy now at the top of the key to Natalie. Great find inside, Aaliyah with another finish. And these back cuts shredding this North Bullitt defense apart right now. Nearly a steal again from Sydney, and she rushes back and is right on top of the ball, gives it up to her twin, takes it up, Skylar puts it up, and she's fouled.
Under a minute left in this first quarter, and it has been about 5 or so minutes since we have last seen a North Bullitt bucket. But since that timeout, we've definitely seen a lot of changes for these Lady Tigers.
We've seen this team absolutely step up, as Sydney being the catalyst so far for this team. Skylar's first is long. Skylar now 8 for 18 on the year, sorry. 47%. She puts the second up, and this one cannot rattle in, as it is Kurtzinger with the rebound, who is able to find Dawson. Dawson just gets it to James, who's able to take it across the timeline, takes it down to the corner, has Kurtzinger open, and she finds her, who takes it right, spins back to her left, gets all the way inside and puts it in. And a nice move there from the 7th grader. And she's able to pick up 2 points for the Lady Eagles, who desperately needed that bucket. And here's Cassidy now, who's going to set things up for what I imagine will be the last shot of this quarter.
I think they want to run an isolation for Cassidy here.
Now we see Fox coming up and applying some pressure, trying to force the ball away from Cassidy. Here's Natalie with 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Aaliyah here takes it with her left, takes it up. She's blocked but puts it back up, and she's unable to finish. Kurtzinger with the rebound, and that's going to wrap up the first quarter of action as the Lady Tigers lead 13-4, after what started off as a pretty sloppy start to that first quarter. We're now going to send you over to our sponsors.
Wright Implement is your one-stop source for everything John Deere. Save like never before on everything from commercial zero-turn mowers to lawn tractors to compact utility tractors and more. Right now at Wright Implement, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new John Deere 4044M compact utility tractor, and that price includes a loader. Save today at Wright Implement, with 9 locations in Kentucky and Indiana to serve you, and online at wrightimp.com.
We now welcome you back to Tiger Arena as the Lady Tigers lead the Lady Eagles of North Bullitt 13-4 here in the second quarter of action. Of course, we saw Sydney bringing a lot of energy after a pretty sloppy start, 2-2 after about 3 or 4 minutes, and Lady Tigers eventually to get a better grip on the game.
We see Lily Critchlow check in for Skylar Tucker here to start this quarter. What a steal from Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, who's been dominant these last few games, 2 21-point games in a row. Here's Cassidy now on the left side, takes it back to her right, gives it to Natalie. Picks up from Lily. Here's Aaliyah to Cassidy on the left side. Tries to find Aaliyah a little too high on the pass there. And stolen away by Dawson. Giving up the court from James. She's able to find Brown, but eventually foul is going to be called. This one going against Aaliyah, her first of the game. Reagan Brown, as we mentioned, a rookie as well. Another eighth grader on the team, sorry. One of the many middle schoolers. Kurt Singer at the free throw line. Gives it up to Fox, and a travel is called against Fox as the Lady Tigers regain possession. One thing I think we'll both be interested to see is if Isabel actually comes into this game or not. We know she warmed up early, but...
And she is dressed out for it. It's just a matter of if they are going to use her.
She also went out for the captain's meeting before the game with the coaches and officials. Here's Cassidy to Natalie. Another back cut find. Aaliyah able to put it up, but unable to put it in. And it is going to be eventually found by Dawson, who's going to throw it off the hands of Cassidy, and it'll make its way out of bounds. As Dawson looks to take this ball back out of bounds on the sideline. She looks.
Dawson looks cross court to Brown now.
And gets its way back to James, who's been sort of the distributor so far for the Lady Eagles. Makes its way over to Fox, inside to Kurtzinger, back to Fox. Three on the way is long, tapped around, and Lily Critchlow comes away with her first rebound of the game. Gives it up quickly to Natalie, who pulls up inside to Sydney. She looks, makes some room, unable to put it up, but the second time around she is, and she picks up 2 more points in this game. As Sydney, who has been arguably the energy giver of this team so far early on. Here's James. Down the middle, gives this one up. 3 on the way from Dawson. Rattles out. And a foul going to be called. This one going against Natalie. I believe undercutting Kurtzinger there was the call. Cassidy now comes out of the game, interestingly. In the corner, inbounded to Dawson, who kicks it out. Fox back to Dawson. 3 on the way from Kurtzinger, rolls in and out, and Aaliyah comes away with the rebound. 2-on-1 for the Lady Tigers. Sydney takes it all the way. This one going to end up hitting the front of the iron, though, and a great find there as that one just rimmed out by Brown. And another fight there as a jump ball. This one going to go to the Lady Tigers. I thought that one there. And we're seeing similar to what we saw at the start of the first quarter. Relatively sloppy start here again. This time we see Natalie take it up in the absence of Cassidy.
Of course, Cassidy took a seat. Back into the game is Skylar Tucker.
Natalie here. Aaliyah. Skylar tries her luck with a 3. That one rims out and rebounded away by Fox. Gives it up to Dawson. Down the right side, guarded by Sydney. Sydney able to root her all the way off to the sideline. And it's going to make its way back up to the top of the key, this time to Fox. As she knocks down a 3. Natalie here takes it. Gets it across the timeline about nearing halfway through this second quarter. Here's Natalie, takes it left and right. And a travel eventually called there. And back into the game comes Clutie.
Checking out, it will be number 14, Emily James.
James making her first, taking her first break of the game. As we see Clutie quickly turned over. Sydney puts it up. No good again inside. Skylar maybe dragged, I believe, was Brown to the ground, but here's Natalie, a three. This one off the mark again. And Natalie just really struggling from beyond the arc so far. Here's Dawson trapped in a corner. Quick turnover. Skylar puts it up and in and able to get 2 more points and a 10-point lead for the Lady Tigers.
You would be hard-pressed to find 2 more determined student athletes in this high school than the Tucker twins. We've seen it on the football pitch, and we've seen it on the court time and time again. Sydney and Skylar, when they have their mind set to something, they are going to go and get it.
Speaking of which, we do see Sydney take a seat here.
And quick break. Cassidy McDaniel does check back in for her.
Here's, I believe it was Dawson. Fox back to Dawson. 3 from the corners up. This one rims in and out, and Aaliyah with another rebound. Finds Cassidy. She's got Skylar. Looks, pulls it back out to Aaliyah.
I think was looking towards Skylar there, and Natalie just can't get that one to fall either.
But the Lady Tigers are going to get a second chance as it makes its way off of Kurt Singer's leg. Lady Tigers with a 10-point lead. Certainly looking to expand upon that. They can really start knocking down some threes. Can go
down to Lily off the back iron, gets it back, almost gets an and one, but will go to the free throw line for her first free throws of the game.
And actually her first free throws of her career here.
We've seen Skylar miss 2 of hers, both of hers when she was at the line. Lily misses her first. Sydney knocked down her second free throw of the game. That's been the only free throw to fall. Aaliyah Mucker and Natalie Tabor will take a seat.
We do see Hannah Ratajkowski coming to the game. We know she can knock down a few threes.
Hannah Ratajkowski checks in, as well as Sydney Tucker.
The Lady Tigers, Skylar there unable to keep that one in. The Lady Tigers moved to 1 for 6 from the line now in this game. Taking this one out to Clutie, who gets it into Fox. Back to Clutie, and back to Fox. North Bullitt trying to get this ball up the court, trying to avoid another 10-second violation. As Clutie comes back away with it, guarded by Sydney. Fox tries her luck with a 3, and that one just rims out, tapped around. Rebounded, though, by Clutie, and a travel is going to be called against her. Another turnover against North Bullitt. So far, a fantastic job for the Lady Tigers, forcing turnovers in the absence of shots dropping right now with a 10-point lead. Have to be happy with that, with the way the shots have fallen so far, as Lily Critcherlow turns this one over, and Fox takes it the length of the court, puts it up and in. Fox had her season high of 14. That coming against Moore. Here's Cassidy to Sydney. Sydney pulls up a long 2. That one well off the mark and rebounded there by Fox. Up the court, and Clutie unable to hold on to that one. As the Lady Tigers going to regain possession there. Aaliyah comes back into the game for Lily here.
And Sydney will also take a seat yet again. Aaliyah checks back in.
Of course, Cassidy going to take the ball back up the court here. Looks to get it to Aaliyah or Natalie. Pick set, taken to the left. Natalie puts it up with the right, no good.
Goes right over the rim. Can't get that one to fall.
And Fox with the rebound quickly gets things underway. Gets the ball back here. And Fox over to Clutie. To Fox, she tries another 3. This one's good. And the Lady Tigers lead cut in half now. From 10 to 5 now. 17 to 12. Cassidy here. Tigers desperate for something to fall here. Skylar looks, finds Cassidy. Cassidy was knocked down a shot today. She tries another long 2. This one long. And rebounded again by the Lady Eagles.
Here's Fox now.
Gives it to Dawson on the right side.
Back to Fox.
To Clutie. Clutie looks, takes it left, gives that one up there to Brown. Brown with a dangerous pass. But once again, makes its way to Dawson. Back to Fox. She takes it right. Back to Dawson. She tries another three. This one just long and tapped out with 3 players hitting the floor there. And it's going to stay with North Bullitt as we see Sydney come back into the game for Hannah Ratajkowski. Only about 1.5 to go in the second quarter. This quarter's been arguably a little uglier than the first.
For sure.
The Lady Tigers not able to get much of anything going offensively so far.
What an inbound.
And Aaliyah unable to hold that one in. Did not expect that pass coming right to her hand as it makes its way to the student section. Clutie gets it in to Dawson. Back to Clutie. She thinks about it. Gives it to Dawson. Or gives it to Brown. Down all the way in the corner here to Thorpe.
Almost trapped in that corner.
It's going to make its way to Thorpe again. And eventually the defense gets to her, and here's Cassidy taking it up the court. She finds Natalie, who's unable to get much going so far. To Sydney, who takes it right all the way, and this one another missed layup, but she gets the rebound, puts it up, and another missed opportunity for the Lady Tigers as it's rebounded strongly there by North Bullitt. That one, Haley James, a second season senior, and the 3 there off the mark. And the Lady Tigers have been killed right now on the offensive glass, but here's Aaliyah. She's got 2-on-1. Takes it with her left, puts it up, and another missed layup, but Skylar able to put it up and another missed layup. And eventually
over the back may have been called.
And an offensive, or
over the back on Reagan Brown.
Lady Tigers gonna get another chance here, but really struggling to put the ball in the basket right now.
This quarter has definitely not been the prettiest one for the Lady Tigers.
Still in the lead by 5, but certainly haven't been able to put everything away. Aaliyah finds Natalie. She thinks about it, takes a little push, puts it up, and another one just falls off the rim there. And Clutie going to come away with it. North Bullitt with a chance here, but they are going to call timeout.
30-second timeout. 14 seconds left in the second quarter.
Lady,
Definitely been a much better quarter for North Bullitt, but the defense of the Lady Tigers remains strong. However, they just cannot get the ball into the basket.
the Lady Tigers with only 4 points in this quarter. And it's started out, had a 10-point lead. That's been slowly grinded down, cut in half to 5. But certainly need a big stop here to prevent any more bleeding of this lead as we head into the break.
Definitely don't want to let them get any closer to cutting this lead, perhaps even making it non-existent. Just need to keep the defense solid, but also need to get some shots to fall.
Lady Tigers pushing everybody up here, but I think some debate here as to where the ball needs to be taken out, and it will eventually be moved to the sideline as Clutie's going to take it in right in front of her bench. Guarded by Aaliyah. Not an easy person to get it over as it makes its way to James, who takes it down the middle of the court. Not able to beat Skylar. Gets it out to Fox. 3 on the way from Thorpe. Nearly banks in. Tapped around. Put back up and rims off there from Brown. And that will wrap up the first half of action. The Lady Tigers not really able to get much going, but they come out of the first half with a 17-12 lead here against the Lady Eagles of North Bullitt. As we now send you over to our sponsors.
Right Implement is your one-stop source for everything John Deere. Save like never before on everything from commercial zero-turn mowers to lawn tractors to compact utility tractors and more. Right now at Right Implement, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new John Deere 4044M compact utility tractor, and that price includes a loader. Save today at Right Implement with 9 locations in Kentucky and Indiana to serve you, and online at rightimp.com.
emptiness. That's what this is right now. And I'm not just talking about the auditorium. Here at Breck Live, we have space for a commercial. Your very own commercial. Kobe. This could have been you, but instead, it's just me, all alone. And I just want to go home.
Here at Breck Live, we have space for commercials. This ad could have been yours.
But instead, you can watch us eat for the remaining time of this commercial.
now welcome you back to Tiger Arena as we're just about to get the second half underway. So far, not the prettiest of games, only 17-12 here through the first half. The Lady Tigers on a pace to score their fewest points in any game. Fewest so far has been 41. That coming against Bourbon County in the Christmas Classic we saw over at Bourbon County. Still able to come away winners, but so far on a pace to also win, but so far not the prettiest game.
I'd also like to mention just a quick apology for the audio difficulties we had earlier, but as you had mentioned, not at all a pretty start for either team, but North Bullitt definitely cut a gaping hole into that lead that the Lady Tigers had at the end of that first quarter, and we didn't see hardly anything positive offensively for the Lady Tigers in that second quarter, but the defense still remained solid and still remained together. It's just about knocking down the shots. They need to come out and basically show us what we've seen for just the entire season at this point, and right now, like you mentioned, on course to score the lowest amount that we've scored all season. And while we weren't present for the Bourbon County game, it was at Bourbon County in the tournament that they were hosting. And that just goes to show you, especially in Tiger Arena, you don't expect this from the Lady Tigers.
Also, thing to mention, the Lady Tigers typically hit 5 to 6, maybe 7 threes a game. Team that knocks down a lot of threes. So far in this game, 0 threes, 1 for 6 from the free throw line is just a quick start as to how unappetizing this game has been so far.
And again, we do see Isabel warming up, but I don't know if I've seen her take a shot in the warm-up. Still very much a question mark for her. I would almost say that she probably will not be in this game and may be waiting for that doubleheader we have Friday, homecoming, where Grayson County will come to Tiger Arena and both the boys and girls will take their shots at another one of our massive rivals in Grayson County, as I mentioned.
Isabel missing. This would now be her 6th game in a row. Well, if you count the one at Mealenburg County, where she only got about a couple minutes in before she had to come out. Still able to win that one, as we have the last 5, as 4 being regional opponents. So the Lady Tigers have really put themselves in a good position without Isabel. And with players like Aaliyah and Sydney playing as we know they can, this team is going to be extraordinarily dangerous as we come closer to the end of that season.
That is certainly a factor for this game as well, is making sure that Aaliyah and Sydney can stay in rhythm. We've seen a lot of amazing ball movement and excellent feeds in that first quarter that we just really didn't see get put together that often in that second quarter, and when we did, the shots just were not falling.
We've seen a lot of missed chances inside, but it will be North Bullitt here to get things underway, and it's immediately James here working now against a zone. On the right side, she plays this one over, and already a turnover force from the Lady Tigers. We've seen plenty of defensive stops from the Lady Tigers. It's just been all that offense. It's been holding only 12 points for North Bullitt. Can't have any complaints about that, but the 17, that's not something I'm sure Coach Mormon's going to be all too happy about.
It was just an absolutely dreadful shooting quarter, as Skylar Tucker does knock down that 3 to hopefully spark that fire underneath the Lady Tigers and get that shooting rhythm going.
We did see Skylar try a couple in that first half, but finally able to knock one down for the Lady Tigers. Here now is, I believe, yes, Clutie here, as she gives this one up to James, who takes it up here on the right wing, guarded by Aaliyah. Gives it up to Clutie. She looks, makes its way to Dawson, down in the corner to Fox. Fox inside to Kurtzinger, who travels here, and a second turnover of the half for the Lady Eagles. And this is much more of a typical start we see from the Lady Tigers. Forced turnovers and knock down a couple early shots. That is what we're much more accustomed to. Not 17 points over 16 minutes. Here's Natalie. Takes the pick, and probably a walk there, and she knows it. Here's Cassidy, though, who puts it up and knocks it down. And the Lady Tigers get their 10-point lead back that we saw early on. Here's Clutie. She looks, gives this one up to Fox. And Aaliyah, good steal, and puts it up and in. And the Lady Tigers with the first 7 of the half. Fox here, guarded by Sydney. Takes it up the middle. It's going to Clutie able to get across the timeline. Back to Fox. She looks. Tries to find Kurtzinger inside, and she does. Turns towards her right, puts it up. Back of the iron, rebounded by Aaliyah, and quickly away at Sydney. She's just got to get to the rim, and she cannot put it in the hole. And here is Clutie, who turns it over, tapped around, and Sydney tries again. This one hits the bottom of the rim, and over the back called against Aaliyah. And we've seen that far too many times in this game. A lot of missed layups and a lot of missed opportunities for the Lady Tigers. Cannot have those problems persist if they want to continue that 5-game winning streak. A lot of pressure put on here, though, and another turnover on North Bullitt. Now that one going to go to the Lady Tigers off the leg of Clutie.
Natalie to throw it in here underneath the basket.
As Brown comes in for Clutie for North Bullitt. Natalie, of course, finds Aaliyah. Aaliyah takes the mid-range jumper. That one just long. And rebound here by Brown. Given up to James, left side, down the court. Finds Fox, takes it right up and banks it in. And North Bullitt gets on the board for the first time in the second half. Here's Cassidy at the top of the key. She takes it to her left. Changes direction, gives it to Natalie. Natalie looking for her first 3, gives it up to Aaliyah. Aaliyah unable to finish now. And it seemed like a plague where the Lady Tigers cannot finish inside. James here. She looks. She finds Fox. Fox takes it left, spins to her right, and throws this one out of bounds. And the Lady Tigers forcing halfway to double-digit turnovers already just in the second half, and we're not even halfway through this third quarter.
24-14 the score here. Just under 5 minutes now.
Here's Cassidy. She finds Aaliyah. The back cuts we saw really effective at the beginning of the game. Slowed down. Here's Natalie, a triple, and she finally knocks one down. And the Lady Tigers already hitting 2 in this first half from long range. We're unable to hit any in that first half. And another turnover. Here's Cassidy. And a foul there called against Skylar. That one a little late on the push. Cassidy looking to get off to the races there when that one was called. And it's going to be Dawson to take it out. Makes its way to James. Back in that matchup 2-3 zone we see from the Lady Tigers. Aaliyah out in front here. Here's Kurtzinger, takes it right, gives it up to James. Tosses this one over to Dawson. Looks down on the corner to Brown. She tries to look inside to Fox. She finds her. And Fox travels. And it's been a mountain of turnovers so far from the Lady Eagles early on in the second half. Here's Cassidy now, taking it up the court to Aaliyah, interestingly. Guarded by Kurtzinger. Shifts everyone down here. And a little isolation, it looks like, for Aaliyah. She's going to take it right against Kurtzinger. Puts it up and puts it in. And a smart play called there as Aaliyah is able to quickly get to the rim.
Now a 15-point lead for the Lady Tigers, 29-14.
Kurtzinger here on the right side, forced to back it back out and gives it up to Fox right at the circle. Fox back to Dawson. Finds Brown. Back up Dawson. And it makes its way eventually over to Fox. Quick inside to Dawson, puts it up, and just rattles that one in. And North Bullitt really needed that bucket. They've had a lot of turnovers in a row up till that point. And here's Cassidy. She's able to find Natalie on the right wing. Natalie knocked down a 3 a minute ago. Nearly turned that one over. Here's Sydney. She steps back. Definitely thought about a 3 there. Gives to Skylar. Here's Cassidy. She takes it left. Gives this one out to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah just has the Red Sea parted as she puts that one in. Fantastic take again from Aaliyah as she pushes the Tigers over 30. Here now is James. Gives this one out to Brown. Inside here to Dawson, nearly walked, but able to toss this one back out. Fox to Kurtzinger, 3 on the way, and she knocks it down. We've seen a couple of 7th graders really lead some teams this year. Hancock County, North Bullitt, good examples. Kurtzinger no exception as we see Sydney miss a 3 there. Rebounded away. And eventually makes its way to Fox again. All the way down to James. Kurtzinger unable to keep that one in, and the Lady Tigers regain possession once more. Skylar comes out now for Lily. She is the first starter to take a break here in the second half, and I think if there were any doubts about Isabel potentially coming in, I'd say unlikely.
I'd say
best.
It's definitely doubtful at this point.
Aaliyah in the right corner with her left. She's had a couple great takes here. Natalie tries another 3, just can't rim that one in, and gonna be tapped out by Sydney.
Really are some excellent looks for the Lady Tigers, just cannot get them to fall.
Yeah, Natalie having a lot of unlucky bounces, a lot roll off the rim, and just hasn't gotten the luck a lot this year. Here it's Kurtzinger. Gets it to Fox. And it will be another turnover. Here's Sydney. And she gives it to Cassidy. North Bullitt trying to get back. Cassidy sets it up. Gets it to Natalie, the senior here. She tries another 3. This one is good.
Finally.
Natalie knocks down her second of the half. And Thorpe here gets it in. Dawson throws this one up and throws it in.
Way to fight the contact there.
Some great defense by Lily Critchlow as North Bullitt able to keep themselves in this game. Here's Cassidy into Aaliyah. She looks, takes it left, puts it up, and puts it in. And Aaliyah having a fantastic third quarter here. Nearly a turnover, and that one's going to make its way out of bounds, and that'll be Breckinridge County ball again.
Had it been saved, I think Sydney had it picked off regardless, so.
It's been an absolutely terrific start defensively. Offensively, things have gotten much better. Lady Tigers already more than doubling their score from the first half, just in this third quarter alone. Here's Cassidy now to Lily. Looks inside to Aaliyah. Aaliyah again turns and puts it in.
Now 20 seconds left now in this third quarter, 38-21.
Here's Thorpe. Maybe last shot in store here for North Bullitt. Makes its way here to Brown. All the way out Kurtzinger. She looks, guarded by Cassidy. She's just going to throw this one up. It's going to go long, and Natalie looks with 1 second here, and she's unable to get the shot off, and it's going to come away short. And a much more exciting third quarter here as the Lady Tigers go into the final quarter action up 38-21 as we send you over to our sponsors.
Wright Implement is your one-stop source for everything John Deere. Save like never before on everything from commercial zero-turn mowers to lawn tractors to compact utility tractors and more. Right now at Wright Implement, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new John Deere 4044M compact utility tractor, and that price includes a loader. Save today at Wright Implement with 9 locations in Kentucky and Indiana to serve you, and online at wrightimp.com.
We now welcome you back to the final quarter of action here between the Lady Tigers of Breckinridge County and the Lady Eagles of North Bullitt. And Noah, a lot more enjoyable of a third quarter there for all viewers.
Certainly, just it wasn't 17 points, that's for sure. And I mean they've doubled that in a quarter. If that tells you anything about what we
It was not the prettiest start, that is for sure.
What we scored in 16 minutes, we've doubled, and hopefully it's not going to be an alternating with the even quarters just not getting anything to fall.
And quickly, though, we see some great defense again. Aaliyah unable to knock this one down, and Clutie comes away with the rebound. But, yeah, I have to agree, things have been going a lot more smoothly for the Lady Tigers. For the Lady Eagles, shooting a relatively high percentage, but not able to get a lot of shots off. A swamping Lady Tiger defense has been throughout this entire game.
I think if they could cut out about even half the turnovers they've committed. What a rebound from Lily Critchlow.
Very physical rebound.
Through two people, but if they can keep up this defensive pressure, and if North Bullitt could have cut like maybe half of those turnovers, it could be a lot closer than it is, because like you mentioned, they've gotten solid shots off.
Here's Cassidy. She misses the mid-range chance, and it's going to be Kirksinger coming away with it.
But you could also say the same for the Lady Tigers as well. Had we made
a
half
lot of
the
inside
shots we've
shots.
missed, half the shots we've missed from three, from inside, any of those, we could be looking at a 50-ish point game or more for the Lady Tigers, but it just has that second quarter really, really hurt the Lady Tigers.
The line is Thorpe. 24 for 31 on the year. In the game, only 1 for 7 between all players. Now 2 for 8. But I think the free throw line shooting has been indicative of the vast majority of that first half. And a timeout's going to be called here, a full timeout.
And if it tells you anything, Thorpe, an 80% shooter on the year, as we mentioned, 24 for 30, misses the first one, makes the second one. Just not great free throw shooting. Really, over the past couple games we've done, just have not been able to get too much to go in free throw wise. But as it stands, 16-point game. Still in a safe place for the Lady Tigers. Just it's not time to give up just yet. Still 6, nearly 7 minutes left to play.
Certainly will need the Lady Tigers to not let the foot up on the gas just yet. We've seen Lily Critchlow, not a player that gets a ton of minutes, but she's been really solid this game. That rebound, that's one of the better ones we've seen in a while. Able to knock down 2 players in the process.
2 people coming up on her, and then we seen Sydney fight for the ball after the rebound.
But here we are, 16-point lead. As Aaliyah here, we see North Bullitt shift to a press here now. Certainly, they knowing only about 6.5 to go here. They got a deficit to trim away at, but here's Aaliyah as Natalie kicks it out to Cassidy, who looks inside to Lily. Back out Natalie, a 3. Can she get her third? It's long. Tapped around, rebounded by Kirksinger. Natalie knocked down 2 in that third quarter. Really struggled in the first half. Did knock down the Lady Tigers' first 2 points of the game. But certainly has been one of the main reasons this 16-point lead is in place.
The reactions and the defensive awareness of Sydney and Aaliyah have really held this Lady Tigers defense together this game.
And this season.
It's this season for sure, but just
in a game like this, it really shows, that is for sure.
The way they're able to just read seemingly every pass that comes their way and cut it off. I would say perhaps among the best in the region, and maybe perhaps the district, as far as defensive awareness and being able to read passes.
And Aaliyah there shows it with Sydney right on top of the ball as well.
I think there was a little miscommunication. Wasn't even really a forced turnover by us, just a miscommunication error for the North Bullitt Lady Eagles.
And once again, as right there, Kurtzinger gets the assist to Aaliyah on once again always seeing everything on the court. And there's a reason those two are the front line of that defense.
And I feel like those are two players who are more than capable of a triple-double, and they don't need assists. They can score, they can rebound, and they steal it like nobody's seen before, really.
Lily there with an absolutely phenomenal defensive stop, able to wall up there. Here's Cassidy in the corner with her left.
Here's Sydney. Sydney perhaps looking for her shot. No, finds Natalie.
Natalie looks, and she's just going to hand this one up to Cassidy. As the Lady Tigers slow things down here. Still yet to that 41-point mark, but almost certainly going to get it at this point. Of course, that being the lowest scoring game for the Lady Tigers on the year. As Sydney there, unable to hit that one. Bounces off the back of the iron. Dawson takes a shot to the face there, it looked like. Gives it up to Clutie as she's quickly swarmed. Aaliyah unable to get to it. And Lily, again, another just halting play. Nobody able to get through her.
It seemed that we just seen Riley Dawson run into a brick wall down low. And, I mean, it's been that way anyone who's come to the paint or tried to out-rebound Lily. Lily definitely has had a lot of valuable minutes in this game.
Natalie takes it here to Cassidy. Inside to Aaliyah, and once again she has a layup and puts it in.
It is also probably important to mention, I don't think we have seen as much of the likes of like Hannah Ratajkowski and Natalie Henning and Azaria Tucker as much because they are coming off of a JV game.
A JV game which the Lady Tigers did take 43-23.
And speaking of, here comes Natalie checking in now as well as Hannah Ratajkowski.
Lady Tigers with a 20-point lead now. Their largest of the game. And, of course, now this will not be their lowest scoring game. Going to be inbound here by Thorpe. Inside and put in there, that one by Haley James.
That seems to be the key for North Bullitt is to just get shots off as fast as they can and not give the Tigers any room to be able to put together any defensive strategy.
Here's Skylar.
You could hear the slap from up here through the headphones.
Gives it up to Natalie, who takes it in the middle. Hannah with her left. And that's going to be a travel called against Hannah Ratajkowski.
I got to say, I am a bit shocked that wasn't a reach-in. That was quite the slap laid on Skylar there.
Certainly was. And as you mentioned that, of course, in this half, North Bullitt, 0 fouls in the game, which is as physical as it's been. May seem a little disproportionate. As well, Lady Tigers only 3 of their own, but at the same time, those are probably historically low numbers. Inside now is Fox as she gets it out to James. To the middle, takes it over is Thorpe. And back up to Fox, guarded by Sydney. Speaking of Sydney, we will have a post-game interview with her as she comes away with the steal. And that one going to be tapped out of bounds. Looks like no fouls are going to be given through the rest of this one.
Sydney seems to have put Haley James in a loop there, and Haley James is the one who had the ball.
And we are going to see, once again, a full timeout called by North Bullitt. Lady Tigers going to it up 42-24.
This one, 2 minutes, 13 seconds left. Does not look like they're going to let the clock run here. I do believe they are going to have clock stoppages in this one. It's not going to be a running clock because I think at halftime it was close enough to rule out one, but as this second half has unfolded, it's been more or less North Bullitt not been able to get anything going as compared to Lady Tigers really just had a very poor second quarter.
Do stick around as our Lady Tigers will be taking on, sorry, not our Lady Tigers. Our post-game interview, we're going to have Sydney Tucker, or we hope to have Sydney Tucker.
Hope to have Sydney Tucker join us, get her thoughts on the game and her performance. As this fourth quarter is set to get underway.
Natalie here to take this one out for the Lady Tigers into Aaliyah. Oh, great fake as she puts it up, but unable to finish. Back up, and she draws the foul.
Aaliyah now
She's going to
will
go.
be taking her first free throws of the game.
Aaliyah, 76.9% shooter on the year. 50 of 65. First is good.
That is the first free throw of the game to go in.
That is true. As the Lady Tigers moved to 2 of 7. And now 3 of 8 from the line. As Aaliyah knocks down both of hers. Here's James.
We've seen a collective 40% between both teams at the free throw line this game.
Over to Fox on the left side. She fires up a 3 and fires it in as Fox is able to knock down a 3-pointer there. Up to Skylar. She finds Natalie Henning here. Just recently came into the game. Cassidy to Hannah. Skylar fires up a 3. She hit one earlier, but this one is no good.
Ratajkowski with an amazing spin there, Henning out to McDaniel. McDaniel will catch them with the fake off the glass and in.
Cassidy with a great finish there to continue this 19-point lead for the Lady Tigers. Thorpe inside, turned over. That one against Fox. Natalie Henning here inside to Aaliyah. She looks, kicks it out to Skylar. Cassidy fires up a 3 and knocks it down.
Not the person to leave open for sure.
And Cassidy and McDaniel with a big triple there as the Lady Tigers push this lead to the largest of the game. 21 here. With about just under a minute to go. A lot of positives for Lady Tigers. Looks like this timeout purely substitution.
Perhaps just needed to catch wind there.
You're going to see Kayla Greenmill come in.
We're also going to see Azaria Tucker and Lauren Lucas check in for the closing minute of this game for the Lady Tigers, and it will be out there on number 13 for North Bullitt, that Ashley Blair.
Interesting thing to note, a little late, but Caroline Lucas, not on the bench tonight. She got called up, had an outstanding home debut against Fern Creek. Oh, our last interviewee in that game.
Also became quite the fan favorite in that game as well.
That is true. Skylar gets this one in. Here's Hannah, who takes it. Guarded here by James to the left. Skylar to Lauren. Out to Natalie. Just under 30 seconds to go. Hannah. And it looks like the Lady Tigers looking to just wrap this thing up here. Nearly turns that one over. Hannah able to get rid of it.
Maybe
Just
did get away
Skylar.
with a turnover there. And there is Skylar with the rebound.
And a foul called there. Lady Tigers with a chance to go to 50 if Skylar can knock down a pair. Skylar 0 for 2 on the night.
Her second trip to the free throw line. Her first trip since the first quarter.
8 for 19 in the game.
Knocks that one down. 49 to 27 now.
We're going to see Lily come in for what looks to be one last possession. And Skylar able to knock both of them down as the Lady Tigers push that lead to 23. It's going to be Blair who inbounds it to James.
Clock did have a little bit of a delay getting started there, but it will expire now.
The Lady Tigers continue their phenomenal campaign as they move to 16-3 on the year, a historic start by any measure. And stick around, we'll have an interview coming up with Sydney Tucker here in a minute.
Wright Implement is your one-stop source for everything John Deere. Save like never before on everything from commercial zero-turn mowers to lawn tractors to compact utility tractors and more. Right now at Wright Implement, you can get 0% financing for 60 months on a brand new John Deere 4044M compact utility tractor, and that price includes a loader. Save today at Wright Implement with 9 locations in Kentucky and Indiana to serve you, and online at wrightimp.com.
Emptiness. That's what this is right now. And I'm not just talking about the auditorium. Here at Breck Live, we have space for a commercial. Your very own commercial. Kobe. This could have been you, but instead, it's just me, all alone. And I just want to go home.
Here at Breck Live, we have space for commercials. This ad could have been yours.
But instead, you can watch us eat for the remaining time of this commercial.
So I'm Noah Knight here with Sydney Tucker, who just came off of an amazing game here at Tiger Arena. First, just want to ask, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
My thoughts on tonight's game are it went pretty well. I mean, we were not making shots in the first quarter, but overall, a dub is a dub, and it's always great to win on your home court. I mean, we always come together as a team. We pass the ball great, and when we do make open shots, we're doing pretty good, and our hustle and defense is always there.
And you had mentioned knocking down a few more shots. That brings me to my next question. What do you feel maybe could have gone better about tonight?
If you came to the game tonight or if you watched it on good old Breck Live, you would definitely notice in the first quarter we were not making any shots. I think at halftime it was actually 17, and that is like a season low for the scoring. We always try to score a lot. We try to get above 60 points every game, and that was an extremely low game. We were not hitting any shots, but hey, as the game goes on, you have to make shots.
Definitely, I think, an out-of-character game
Yes.
as far as offense goes, but still very solid defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does this impact morale of the team looking ahead to Grayson County and homecoming Friday?
Okay, so I already know homecoming is going to be a big atmosphere, big crowd, and it's definitely on our home court, so we definitely have to pay attention to, protecting our home court because, hey, this is ours. We have to protect it, and I know, it's a big game, and I know they have some pretty good players. They have height on us, and we just really got to play good, knock down open shots, play excellent defense, have our hustle ready, just bring our A game. And I know we're kind of short right now because we don't have a true point guard out there, but always try our best. And another thing, in today's game, I really did not shoot the ball well, but regardless, if you're not shooting well or you're just not scoring a lot, then always work twice as hard on defense. If you're not bringing your offense, then bring something else to the plate.
That defense definitely paid off tonight, and
Thank you.
it paid off big for you all. Congratulations on the win.
Thank
and
you.
We definitely look forward to that game Friday against Grayson County, the homecoming game, and
Everyone show out to the game, please.
show up to the game, be ready, and that'll wrap it up here tonight from Noah Knight and Breck Live. That's all with us with Sydney Tucker.
Bye, guys.